quite the speech yesterday with Trump. Oh my goodness. Unreal. Oh, sorry, I'm still getting set up again. Oh, that's good enough. See what else I missed in the news. Popped up here now that I just. There's always something that pops up after I'm done my live. See what pops up in the news here. Uh, yeah, the Nancy Guthrie's thing. The is it $1.1 million? I think she's offering for I don't know the return of her mother. It's what day 24 now. You, yeah, day 24, and they still can't find her. And then there's like some controversy. They don't know when that video was taken of the doorbell camera at her mom's house, and the blood they found at the house was people that would normally be there, and then there was one DNA sample they couldn't find. But still, like, I'm I'm just saying, who has anything to benefit from this? Samantha Guthrie's. Who's getting all the media attention? Samantha Guthrie's. I don't know. Maybe she had something to do with her mom's disappearance. I think they did polygraph tests on them. I'm not even gonna like look too deep into it because if the FBI can't find anything, then what's the point of me looking it up? And it's pretty sad. Like you don't hear anything now because I filled the media for what like 2 weeks solid, and still haven't had any notice of where she is. Doesn't make any sense. I think it's just a big psyop, to tell you the truth, or Samantha Guthrie's had something to do with it. And then the Artemis 2 isn't going to be launching until May now. May? No specific date, though. Um, yeah, and that's, was it a helium leak? Helium leak in one of their tanks or something like that. No, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. Uh, yeah, biker news with the Los Bravos taking over again. That's interesting. Um, the Sweeney brothers out of Winnipeg. The Sweeney brothers. A few runs in with them. Sweeney brothers. There's a few Sweeneys in Brandon as well too, but no real word on why they really left the HA. Um, and it's kind of funny is it's almost the exact same time as when Harley Gwendon restarted his dad's Satan's Choice. So that I don't know if did they hear something and decide, hey, you know what? Let's reopen up our patches. And then the blessing was there a blessing from the HA to do this? Because they lost 90% of their guys to the Los Bravos. So I don't know. I'll look into that a little bit more, but it's kind of neat to see all these old patches come back. Let's see if they start acting like the old guard again. Yeah, one percenters aren't what one percenters are anymore. So Harley Gwendon says, or just it's gone too far. Uh, yeah, I'd like to see the Vagabonds come back. They're mostly BC area, British Columbia, Alberta. But that'd be interesting to see them come back. I wouldn't be surprised this year if we started seeing dissolved patches just come right back. I This might be the year of biker gangs. Well, biker clubs. Sorry, I said gang. You're not supposed to say gang. Here's a funny story. Was this the Road Dogs? The Road Dogs are doing a big. It's like a puppet club. Road Dogs. They do like charitable stuff for kids, like Toys for Tots, stuff like that, school supplies, charity runs for cancer research, other things. But when they're not doing that, well, they're having a fundraiser at this one bar that I knew somebody who worked at. Hey, James. And Oh, I can't remember this kid's name. He's so. Anyways, all these bikers, the road dogs, are sitting in this bar, and I wish I could remember this kid's name. I'm sitting at the bar at my spot, like I had my own spot at this bar, and everyone knew not to sit there. So outside having a smoke with this young kid that I knew, and uh, we come back in. He comes and sits next to me. And then he stands up and he goes over to one of the road dogs and he's like, how do I become a part of your gang? And just stupid kid. And I was just like, oh, fuck, you did not just say that. I was like, Trent was his name. Trent. I'm sitting there looking at Trent, and Trent, he can't see me, but he's looking at this biker, and this biker's like, what the fuck? We're not a gang. We're a motorcycle club. And he's like, oh, okay, club. Well, what does it take for me to get in a club? And he's like, the biker's like, what kind of bike do you ride? He's like, a Norco. Norco's a bicycle. Oh, look on this biker's face. He just like, he didn't know what to do. You could see he just wanted to boom, like slam him into the ground. Then Mama Dog showed up, grabs Trent, starts yelling at him and shit. So I just grabbed him by the shoulder and I take him through the bar, like through the employee exit, through the back. I get him in his fucking car and I'm like, "Okay, we're going to my house. Drive now." And he's like, what? I don't know what happened. He's just totally clueless of what he just said to these bikers. So I take him to my house, let him chill out there for about an hour and a half, and I call down to the bar. I'm like, hey, are these people gone? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah. I was like, hey, Trent, dude, when groups like that come in here, just mind your P's and Q's. Don't ask them questions. Don't just drink your fucking beer, play your VLTs, and leave. But fuck, he almost got his fucking face smashed in. Like the whole Road Dogs group was there at this bar. He would have just been smashed. And another thing, while I was there, out there, I'd have like smokes in the smoking patio. They had road dogs sitting there, talking road dog business and blaspheming other road dog members at a road dog meet. Okay, first of all, when you're in a club like that, don't talk fucking business outside a shop. Like, what the fuck? And then you're gonna sit there and talk shit about a guy in the club and he's just standing on the other side of that fence? What does that say about you as a club member? You know, you're gonna sit there and talk shit about that guy? What does that say about you? Maybe you should get fucking kicked out. But that I wasn't too impressed with. And just clear as day, sitting there talking shit about each other's members and what they should do with them and things that business deals that they should do. Don't fucking talk shit out of house. Don't go to a public place and talk business. It doesn't work like that. You're just asking for trouble. Yeah, and just because you rent a bar, well, they didn't even rent the bar. They kind of just took it over for a day, and which is funny. They brought out their own food and brought it into the bar. Meanwhile, there's a restaurant and everything that could have catered to them, which they do catering. But I think the Road Dogs are pretty much dissolved now. I think that a few of their members ran into some issues, child abuse issues, and their main like promotion thing was, oh, we look after kids. Yeah, we look after kids. Well, some of your members can't even look after their own kids. So I think that's kind of why they dissolved. But most puppet clubs, there was the this is the Suicide Squad puppet club, HA in Manitoba, Suicide Squad, now dissolved. But why would you name your biker club Suicide Squad? What are you saying? You just you're all suicidal. You're all like you fight to the death. Like what? What? It didn't make any sense. Hey Ibby, what's up? But yeah, that's interesting. Uh, and then Trump's speech last night, that just blew my mind. That really got other countries thinking this morning, like, oh my God, did we make a deal too soon? That's what almost every country's thinking right now after Trump's little speech. He's like, see, I made the deal. I got what I wanted, blah, blah, blah. He's flat out. Do you not realize other countries are watching what you say? It was horrible. Well, YouTube asked me for the weirdest like Q&A questions. It's like, who has like unused email accounts? I don't know. All my email accounts I use. I just recently got a bunch of my old email accounts re-signed back in. You have a cat. Meow. So yeah, um, I don't know. I talk about what Trump said in his speech, but it kind of just pissed me off. But and then Carney going to Japan, Australia, and India with trade talks. Germany's trade talks with China, that was a big deal. Uh, that's going to be a huge trade market right there, Germany and China. So, and that's, as far as I know, I think that is signed over now. I think it's signed into play. There's one deal though that is not officially signed in though, and that was the deal with what was it? That African country, Guyana and China deal. Yeah, that's not gonna get signed until probably another couple days here. I think they're just refining the agreement. So, but that's not set in stone yet. But I'll keep an eye on that Guyana deal in China. And then China and Germany deal. That's crazy. China is just all over the place making deals right now. It's crazy. But I kind of like seeing that, you know. Not really do you hear much about China, you know, exploring multiple different options, you know, instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, especially with that, what is it, $202 billion deficit with the United States. And second place being Mexico with what, $176 billion in deficit or trade debt. Was that this page? Oh, sorry, Mexico is $196 billion, with Vietnam in third place with 170. I don't know why Canada's sitting here getting a big. I should have did the British one too, but I didn't. Sorry. Um, yeah, why is Canada with 46.4 billion in trade debt with the U.S.? You know that's manageable. That's actually manageable. Like I don't know why we're getting tariffed up the wazoo with all this nonsense. And then I don't know why people are thinking that, oh, tariffs are just going to end. No, it's not the case. Just because the Supreme Court said something, it doesn't mean Trump's still going to do something. He's going to find a way around it. He's going to find an executive order that applies to his agenda, and he's going to use it to his full power. It is what it is. And then I don't know what's happening with Iran, and I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it almost seems like a Cold War ploy all over again. Like was it Monday, Iran said like, hey, we will like stop progressing towards nuclear weapons, but hey, could we at least refine our own like nuclear fuel rods so we can have like cleaner, more efficient nuclear power? But by the sounds of it, Trump's like, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't having anything to do with nuclear at all. And but by the sounds of it, Iran is willing to make a deal as long as they let them refine their own fuel rods for these nuclear power reactors. So I don't know. Haven't heard any news about that. Trump was too busy pre-reading his speech before last night's drama show. Uh, yeah. What else? Yeah. That's what do I want? That's what I want. Let's see what we got here. Anything new that popped up while I was gone? In the Olympics, blah blah blah. Olympics is going to be a dying thing. I don't really see the Olympics really going much farther here in the future. Really don't. Yeah, the open AI is still dealing with a lot of controversy right now. There's that meeting that they're having in Canada here with ChatGPT. That I'll talk about here. Okay, so the school shooter in BC had a ChatGPT account that was canceled in 2023 due to the fact that violent content or unsavory content canceled his ChatGPT account. But officials with ChatGPT did not tell authorities about this cancellation and what was being discussed through ChatGPT. So now discussions are going to be happening here in Canada between ChatGPT security officials on what can be done about sharing information on violent content or possibly violent strikes against civilians or you know what I mean. YouTube hernia? Oh, hernia. Yeah. Well, you can go back and watch my other news channel. This is just the BS that I won't talk about on the news. The other news channel is just all facts, all trade stuff, global markets, global trades, global deals, things that are going to affect you and your country. Like trade deals that are happening in like Africa, India, all these other countries. It will affect your country too. Like, don't say that. Like, you should be paying attention to what's happening in these other trade deals, like, especially with some of these countries that already made deals. Maybe not such a good idea making such an early deal. And really, like, it didn't help pre making a deal with Trump. He's already talking about adding more tariffs. That other 50%. What did he call it? He didn't call it tariff. 50% increase on goods in and out of the United States. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. It's all sound bites right now. I don't really see anything really major happening with like dealing with Donald Trump for the next year. I think this is how everything's going to be for the next while. It's just all going to be sound bites. I don't think we're going to have any real set in stone. Farmers are taking a hit. Grocery prices are going to probably start skyrocketing due to the fact that, they're not getting products from, well, they're tariffing and taxing the shit out of products coming out of Mexico and Canada, and vice versa here in Canada. Like on my on my other show where I talked facts, like really for a 4 pack of steaks at Costco, $120 after taxes for 4 steaks. Steaks about yay big, about yay thick. What would that be, like strip loin steak? 4 strip loin steaks for $120 after taxes. Like, and then even still, vegetables. They want us to all become vegetarians and stuff. Well, have you seen the price of vegetables? It's almost just as expensive to be a meat eater as it is to be a vegetarian. To tell you the truth, I like my meat. Definitely. Definitely. I could definitely not be a Jew. No. Like right now I got a deer roast sitting out on the oven right now. Cook that up tomorrow. Throw it in the slow cooker. Yeah, just wait till they start trying to tax us on wild meat. Just wait. Oh, you can't eat wild meat anymore, or we're gonna tax you because we're gonna deem that unsafe. Why? Because we process it at home, or like whatever. Like the wife, when her parents would get a deer, you wouldn't be able to use the bathtub for a week. They'd let that thing soak in the bathtub for about a week before they start chopping it up. It's supposed to make the meat more tender if you let it soak in a bathtub instead of just hang drying it. It gets all dried out. Some people prefer hanging it, some people like to soak it. Uh, yeah, Zelensky's going to Geneva for more talks with Russia. Oh, some other news. Turkey news. Turkey is going to be. They're putting pressure on Ukraine right now for a blown up pipeline that is supplying Turkey and what country? There's another country. It's supplying two countries right now, and Ukraine saying it's not our fault that the pipeline got destroyed. It's Russians' fault. So make the Russians deal with it. But it's on Ukraine territory. So uh, Turkey is kind of upset right now because they had to be removed from the European Union so they could be getting oil and gas from Russia, which has a trade embargo against them. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We're definitely going to hear discussions in this Geneva meeting here about that pipeline for sure. And by the sounds of it, I think officials from Turkey are going to be there because they've been the two kind of in between discussions. They've also been involved with discussions between U.S. and sorry, I just had a brain fart. The U.S. and wow, did I just have a major brain fart? Uh, uh, U.S. and Iran, but I don't know. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. When something happens, I'll tell you. Uh, India trade deals. Some trade deals between India could be beneficial to Saskatchewan farmers, not just, yeah. And not just Saskatchewan farmers, I think that's going to be potash too. Saskatchewan has some of the most, has quite a few potash mines. The wife's husband or brother works in one of the potash mines. It's crazy. He spends almost an hour every day just going down into the mine and then walking to where he has to go, and then they make you take like a half an hour break just to get to your like booth, your coffee area, and then you go to work. And then they bring full size excavators, full size, not mining excavators, full size excavators down into this mine. They split it into pieces and reassemble it down in the hole. It's crazy. I would like to get a tour of that mine, but it's only limited to family members. The one of the potash mine here really influences family. If your dad works at the potash mine, they kind of expect you to work at the potash mine, and there's quite a bit of like help that way. Like they'll start training you right out of high school to start going there. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, there's a lot of BS right now. A lot of BS. Still dealing with some issues with that police, all those police, Toronto police getting arrested. And it was kind of funny as there was a father-son duo that were a part of that corruption case tied to some murder cases and uh, drug shipments. So yeah, see what happens. I'd like to see the grandfather in there too, because I almost guarantee he's retired. I almost guarantee he had a part of that too. Oh, and then the violence in Mexico. You know what? I don't know where they're finding these people that they're doing these interviews with. Oh, it was terrifying. I was so scared for my life. Blah, blah, blah. Really? Really? Like, here, I bet you I could take that person to like down on Winnipeg and I could scare them a lot worse than what happened in Mexico. I know I wasn't there. Like, I've been to Mexico, Puerto Vallarta multiple times. It's safe. I've never had any issues. I walk around by myself all the time down there. Like, never had an issue. If anything, like, people bring you into their shops and feed you and give you tequila and feed you beers. So it's not too bad. I don't think it's as bad as what people are making it out to be. Like, if you're an American and they find out you're an American, I would definitely be worried if I was down in Mexico. But if you're Canadian, wouldn't be too worried. And if you're in cartel controlled resorts, you're definitely going to be safe because the cartels aren't going to hurt anybody in their own resorts because a dead tourist doesn't make money and dead tourists don't come back. So, yeah. Next time, if any of you guys go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, think about the resort that you're staying in and who really owns it and who has the money to invest into something that big. Sunwing is a big flight aircraft, well, passenger plane set up here in Canada. They own a lot of hotels in Mexico as well. Sunwing, they have the Sunscapes, it's called. Most of them are old Holiday Inn resorts across Mexico. There's a lot of Sunscapes. Pretty much every resort or every place in Mexico that's a tourist destination has a sunscape. Just like like a Hollywood, Planet Hollywood resorts and stuff like that. There's one in every major tourist destination. But I've never had any issues in Mexico. And it's funny is I knew a lot of the guys who work the beaches, and they're all very well connected to cartel. And if you can make friends with the beach goers, or they call them beach bums, those guys are very well connected. They will find you anything within 5 minutes. If they don't have what you need, they will get on their phone, and 5 minutes later, you'll see a guy running down the beach with exactly what you asked for. Sometimes you might have to pay a little bit more, but I don't know. Service there is great. A lot of the people like on the inner part off the beach who run tourist spots really don't like the beach bums due to the fact that most of them are run by cartel members. But yeah, they're pretty good to hang out with though. You want to have like know where like the real food, like real Mexican food is, go talk to those beach bum guys. They'll tell you where to go. Yeah. But some of them do get a cut too if they tell you to go to a certain place. Oh, say Jose sent you, blah blah blah, and then Jose gets a payoff. The price of weed in Mexico, you're looking around $200 an ounce, and that's like I don't know. I'd say the weed in Mexico is pretty good. Very seedy and stemmy though. Definitely not the quality you're gonna find up here in Canada for sure. But definitely get you stoned for sure. But $200 an ounce, oof, that's quite a bit. Like fuck, here in Canada, if I do black market, I can get a quarter pound of weed. So that's quarter pound. That's 8 ounces for around 400 to 600 bucks, and that's like Acapulco Gold, Purple Kush, Girl Scout cookies, what do you call it? BC Bud. All the high-ranking weeds. So I don't know. Mexico doesn't seem to bother me too much. You know what? Like, tell you the truth, if I seen like cartel guys out there with AKs and stuff, I'd probably be out there. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go for a walk, go see what's up. I wouldn't be too worried. I've been to cockfights up in the mountains. Well, they're not illegal. You can't go to bullfights anymore in Mexico. They banned bullfights because, well, the bull doesn't make it out of the ring. The bull dies every time. Just to let you know. So I go to a bullfight. So I was walking down through downtown Puerto Vallarta by myself, stoned out of my mind, and here's one guy. He's like, hey, man." And I was like, that's not Mexican. So I look over. There's this guy in this little shop, this little tourist shop. He's like, "Can I help you find something?" And looking around, I'm like, "Fuck, man! All the bars are closed. I can't even get a fucking beer. Like, where's the closest Exo? Exo is like a 7-Eleven in Mexico. Exo. So I'm like, I just want a fucking cold beer. Like, where's the closest EXO? And he's like, "Shh, here you go. Sit down for a bit." Oh, hey, you're Mexican? He's like, yeah, I was born here. Most of my life I was spent in America, went to college there, took my business degree, blah, blah, blah. Talked to this guy for a while. It's like, you like tequila? Opens up this closet door behind him. Like, I'm talking small shop, like me, you, small. This is how close we're talking. He literally opens this door behind him, this little closet door. There's a big wooden barrel with a tap at the bottom. You like tequila? Here you go. And it's funny. My mama made it. My mama's recipe. My mama. It's always your fucking mama's recipe. Everywhere you go, my mama. My mama made it. It's my mama's recipe. It's everyone. It's always everyone's mama's recipe. It's so funny. You go to a restaurant. Oh, where'd you get the recipe? My mama. It's like holy shit. So I'm sitting there talking with this guy, having beer, drinking tequila, smoking cigarettes. Canadian cigarettes. I'm giving this guy Canadian cigarettes back and forth. Tried to smoke a joint with him, and he's like, nah, I don't do that shit. And I kind of like thought to myself, like, he doesn't smoke weed, then maybe he is connected to the cartel. Because the cartel, they won't even let you smoke pot. If you're up there and making them money, they don't want you doing drugs. So after sitting there for a while with him, he's like, holy. I'm like, dude, I already have like my tourist guide, blah blah blah. Like, is there something that you can take me to that like no one else can? He was like, I don't know, like pretty much if the beach bums can get it for you, then there's not really much I can do for you. I was like, huh. Like, how about a cockfight? You, is there like a cockfight around here? Can we go to a cockfight? He's like, you never been to a cockfight? I was like, no. He's like, you're in luck. There's one on Thursday. That's 2 days from now. How long are you here? I'm like, well, I'm here for another 5 days. He's like, okay. Took his number, went to the resort. I got like 10 people ready to go with me to this cockfight. So my buddy shows up to the resort. Everyone bitched out. Everyone bitched out. I paid $280 for me to go. It was only like $80 is what I was supposed to pay. Then I made an agreement with the guy. I give him $180 for the evening to drive me into the middle of the fucking mountains on some fucking turkey trail, like looking down on the edge of a mountain, like in the what is it, GMC Suburban, driving around in this giant fucking white Suburban, like holy fuck, like sticking out like a sore thumb. And then we pull up to this place in the middle of these two mountains. And when I was thinking cockfight, I was thinking like maybe in a barn or something. Holy fuck, it's a giant arena. There must have been 4,000 people in there. I've never seen anything like this. There's little kids in diapers. The cockfighting ring is a circle, giant circle. I don't know how many tiers up it goes. And then there's a red side and a green side. There's little kids running around this circle in their diapers, kids, parents holding their babies, making bets on cockfights. So we're sitting there, stupid me. I put, I don't know, like 2,000 pesos, which is like $20. No, it was more than that. Okay. Well, including that $180, I had that $180. What did I bring? I brought around $280 because I didn't know how much money I was going to spend betting on it, because I wanted to bet on a cockfight, see what was going to happen. I put all the money in my underwear. So by the time we got there to the cockfight, my money is soaking wet with sweat. So my bodyguard, realizing now this is my fucking bodyguard. This guy's fucking huge, covered in tattoos. He sees this one kid running around, just being a little shit. He's like, "Hey, amigo, come here. Dos cerveza. Go get us dos cerveza. Go grab us 2 beers." And this guy stands up behind us, 2 times bigger than my bodyguard. This big fucking Mexican cowboy, and couldn't quite translate what he was saying, but pretty much to the fact was, that's my son. Don't tell my son to go get you a fucking beer. You bring this fucking Americano here to a fucking Mexican cockfight. Who the fuck do you think you are? how about I take you outside, beat the shit out of you and your fucking American gringo? Then my bodyguard's like, turns around, he's just like, fucking calm down, man. Not a fucking American gringo. Canadiano. This big fucking Mexican kind of looks at me. I'm just this little guy. I look at him, Canadian? And he's just like, ugh, yeah, Canadian. And then finally, bodyguard grabs, uh, waves down the waitress, coming around, brings us beers. And this fucking little kid comes back after we have our beers. Oh yeah, I forgot about the money part. I went to pay the waitress for the beers. I had all that sweaty cash in my underwear. And my bodyguard's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, dude, don't put that in your underwear. Like, fuck. This is why you hired me. So you don't have to do that. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, just put it in your fucking pocket, okay? Take it out of your underwear and put it in your pocket. Don't look like a retard. Everyone's gonna think you're scratching your balls. So we get our beers. This little kid comes back that we asked to grab his beers. This kid comes back. He's like, Cerveza? And we'll all give my bodyguard, get the fuck out of here, you little shit. You fuck off. Don't even stand near us. That little kid just trying to instigate it more. It was the fucking funniest thing ever. Didn't really fear for my life, but yeah, at that cockfight. And there were some European guys on the green side of the ring. Fuck, they were dumping cash. You knew they had money. They had the whole green side. Like, you could see how like it works, like money wise, as the tier level of the arena shows your wealth. You don't sit on the bottom floor. You don't. If anything, you want to start from the top and work your way down. But that was interesting. And cockfights, the roosters don't always fight to the death. Like, those roosters are worth like tens of thousands of dollars. So if that rooster dies, all that training and all that other stuff to those roosters is just a waste of time, waste of money for them. And those razor blades, about the size of my finger. This is here. This is what the razor blades look like. They wrap onto the chicken's leg, but they're super thin, almost as thin as a piece of paper. And they do that on purpose, these razor blades, because if the razor blade breaks, they get to stop the fight, pull the rooster out, and then take off that razor blade. And the thing is, you can use a string as long as you want. There are no rules on how long the string is that you wrap around the razor blade to the leg. There's no rules on how long that has to be. And the teams will use this to their advantage, because some guys will hop up their roosters before they bring them into the ring. So they're like, let's go. They're all hopped up on like drugs. They drug these roosters up. So you think you're getting like this really wild turkey or rooster, right? But no, you got to wait a little bit. You got to wait till you start betting. You can bet right at the beginning, but you got to kind of weed out what they're doing with these roosters. So what they'll do is they'll see this rooster acting the fool, right? Like, oh, okay. So they'll purposely put a crack in the razor blade, so when it breaks, they can pull their rooster out, and now they have as much time as they need to unwrap that razor blade. And they'll watch that other rooster, and you can see them slow that unlooping down, and they'll wait till the drugs start wearing off on that rooster. Then they'll speed up, put on the good razor blades. Yeah, then they throw their rooster in. And yeah, most of the time, the one who's wired up won't win. And for a rooster to lose the fight, all it has to do is put its beak in the sand. That's it. Just once. And it's funny, the roosters know that. They'll play dead. Just put their beak in the sand. It's the funny, craziest thing. I only watched one fight to the death. I'll tell you the truth, it wasn't that as bad as I thought it was. I thought I was gonna see more blood. People were telling me like, don't sit on the front row because you will get sprayed with blood. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. So I watched 3 rounds, not to the death, and then 1 round, fight to the death, and then I was out of there. So that was interesting. Yeah. I had video too. I have a video around here somewhere of me going to that cockfight. I'll try and upload it. I'll have to find it first. But that was so cool. Definitely recommend if you go to Mexico, go check out the cockfights. If you're down for bullfighting, you can't go to bullfights anymore. There's no such thing. But go check out a cockfight if you're down for stuff like that. It's cool. Definitely bring. Well, you're gonna have to bring a bodyguard with you or somebody who's well advised on how to deal with things there. But yeah, that was super cool. And once or twice a week they have it. Normally on Tuesdays or Thursdays. And what's funny is when I got back to the resort, I was talking to one of my beach bum guys at the beach, and he's like, "Oh fuck, man." He's like, "Fuck, that sucks. I could have taken you on Tuesday, and then you could have seen all my roosters. This guy has like 20 roosters just to himself, and then he looks after some of the cartel guys' roosters, babysitting them, patching them up after fights and stuff like that. It's really cool. But next time I go to Mexico, if he's still alive, I'm definitely going to take him up on that offer, and because I'd like to be in the background of how a cockfight works. That'd be so cool. Yeah, interesting. Oh, good old Mexico. It's funny, when I go there, I never have any issues. I don't need a credit card for the excursions or anything. Like, I can go rent a dune buggy, no credit card, just from my reputation. It's funny, it's like people I know, they'll be like, he doesn't need a credit card. And it's just like, okay, he doesn't need a credit card. It's like Jedi mind trick. I don't need a credit card. Okay, he doesn't need a credit card. And meanwhile, the one guy who rented a dune buggy, uh, guy right before me, oh, pretty much almost rode off a dune buggy right in front of me. It was so funny. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He just was not paying attention and drove straight in. Almost took out the cameraman who was taking pictures of everyone. Pretty crazy. Yeah, and then what was his bill? Almost 5 grand. 5 grand to fix that dune buggy. Yeah. Quebecois, some Quebec Frenchmen. Oh, and his kids and his wife. Oh. And what's funny is Quebecois, they're almost like Americans. Very, very mouthy. Very mouthy. Always has something to say, whether there's nothing to say or not. They have to say something. One guy I was hanging out with crashed a jet ski, brand new jet ski, two of them into each other. Oh, they're lying. After they crash, they go flying out into the water, and the guys who own the jet skis come flying out with another jet ski, lassoed the jet skis before they sank, pulled the broken jet skis ashore before they came and grabbed the two guys. Yeah, I remember that guy. That was when the price of oil dropped really bad. That was probably what, not quite 10 years ago. Yeah, probably close to 10 years ago when it price of oil dropped and a lot of guys got laid off from the pipeline and the oil wells in Alberta. This one guy, I remember he was telling me he had just got these tickets before the oil crash. And he was like, "Oh, this is it. When I get back home, I'm going to have to pretty much sell my house or sell all my toys because I spent my money as fast as I was making it." That's pretty much normal with all pipeline guys that I know. They spend it as fast as they can. They have like brand new jet skis outside in their driveway, brand new snowmobiles that never get used because they're always out working anyways. But yeah, this pipeline guy, yeah, he was the one who crashed the jet skis. And what was it? $17,000 in damages to these jet skis. And then to buy them out, he could have just paid 10 grand, no, 20 grand to buy out the two jet skis. But for him to get the jet skis from Puerto Vallarta back to Alberta would have cost him like, I think, another 10 grand, so 30 grand. So pay the 17 or buy them right out. Yeah, so interesting. That was pretty cool. I remember watching them too. We were sitting on the beach. The one time I'm sitting on the beach and see, oh, there's so and so, wham, 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 boom. There you go. that's the end of, and they hadn't even been on the jet skis for 10 minutes. So much, and he was so excited. I remember the day before, he's like, yeah, we're going jet skiing all afternoon, blah blah, I'm so excited. Well, 10 minutes of jet skiing and a $17,000 bill. And then the one guy I was hanging out with, yeah, I ended up sleeping with a tranny. Well, almost sleeping with a tranny. I don't know how, when he was making out with it in the hot tub, that he didn't, like, go down there with his hand, around a little bit first. He just took her straight up to his room, and oh my god, it was the funniest thing. We're in the room next to him. He has door wide open, his patio door wide open. We're hanging over the balcony trying to listen to what's happening, and all of a sudden, what? What? What the fuck? What is that? Ah! And then they just hear his hotel room door slam shut. We come flying out the door to see him. He's just running down the hall to the elevator. Didn't see the girl or whatever it was that was next to, or who was with him, come out of his room though. But it was so funny. I remember everyone's like, "Hey, do you see who so and so's hanging out with?" And I was like, "No." And everyone, "Have you seen? Oh, you got to see so and so's like new like girl thing that's with him." I'm like, "What? Was it a guy?" And everyone looks at me like, "So you have seen her?" And I was like, "No, I don't know who you're talking about." We're sure it's. I think it's a guy. And it's all over him. Oh, fuck! I wish I could remember his name. But oh, poor simple farm boy out of Saskatchewan. Not a city boy, a farm boy. About to get laid in Mexico. Turns out to be a guy. The funniest thing, I remember the day he was leaving. I'm down at the lobby, fucking drink in my hand. I go and grab him a drink before he leaves. I'm sitting there talking with him. I'm like, "Hey, so let's get down to brass tacks." So was it? Just, yeah, it was. Just, oh man. Okay, okay. Well, you'll be gone soon. You don't have to worry about it. And what's funny is that thing. We never seen that thing again after that. Totally locked itself in its hotel room the whole time after that. Fuck, I wish I could remember that kid's name. Well, if anyone from Saskatchewan knows anybody who's slept with a tranny in Mexico, almost slept with a tranny in Mexico, oh, what was his name? Like Bryson or Trent or something like that was his name. Bryson, I think, might have been his name. Uh, or if anyone knows a Megan whose dad owns a auto wrecker in Saskatoon area, tell her to give me a shout here on YouTube. Megan and oh, I can't remember. And yeah, her dad's a biker too. Good old times in Mexico. Dominican Republic's pretty nice too, but you want to be on the most southern side. You don't want to be on the north side. Puerto Plata. Puerto Plata is right on the border of Haiti. And if you don't know about Haiti, Haiti's been struggling since the last not last earthquake, but that major earthquake that hit quite a few years ago. And all those people ended up getting, not, is it typhoid? Where you get poison from shit in the water. I can't remember what that's called. But it's not good. And what's funny is when those people started getting sick from that, they tracked where the shit was coming from in the river, and they tracked it to a UN base, a United Nations base, which had Filipinos and some other Asians there as support relief for the earthquake. But their latrines were being dumped into the river above stream of where people were gathering water because the water infrastructure was totally destroyed. You couldn't get fresh water, so people were washing their clothes and drinking from the river, which is full of fucking human feces. So thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people got really sick, and thousands definitely died due to that. So yeah, that's one thing that should be brought up, is how UN countries are, taking advantage of some of the destruction that happens with earthquakes and natural disasters. Yeah, yeah, they do some pretty shady shit in the background. Literally shady shit. What's up, Drill? Meow. Anything else weird? Yeah, not really too much else in the news that really pissed me off today that I won't talk about. And that Gunthries chick, she's dead. She's so dead. There's no way that she's alive right now. And to tell you the truth, I think Samantha Gunthries actually had something to do with it. I did a short about that. It just makes sense. She was the last person to see her mom. You know, and who's going to gain any benefit from this? Samantha Gunthries. Who's getting all the media attention? Samantha Gunthries. And the FBI can't find any information. Yeah, they did polygraphs, blah blah blah, on her, blah blah blah, but polygraphs aren't 100%. Like, I'd like to see if I could try and pass a polygraph test just for the hell of it. You know, do a control and then do a actual. So yeah, yeah, she's dead. She's so dead already. And with the amount of blood that they found at the scene, this is another thing that doesn't make sense that they aren't asking themselves. They found a lot of blood at the scene. And okay, it was other family members or people who would have been allowed in the house. Okay, is multiple different types of DNA in that blood, or the blood splatters that they found. And then they found one blood sample that they couldn't identify, and it isn't in their CODIS. And you can thank, what's that, ancestry bullshit. You can thank fucking CODIS or Ancestry for feeding CODIS all this DNA information now. And then anyone who's doing this DNA thing to like do your ancestry, you're dumb. These companies should be paying you to be sending your DNA over. And then now they have control of your DNA. Like, holy crap. I don't know, some people just, I don't get it. Help me make sense of this. Should I talk about plastic straws again? No, I'm done talking about plastic straws. But I do want to do an episode and talk about paper mills and how that is affecting the environment and shit like that. And I'm not talking about global warming or anything. I'm talking about like harsh chemicals and the amount of energy it takes to make paper. And it's not efficient. It's not efficient by any means. And then trees. We don't have enough trees. What else is in the news? Nothing really new. Netanyahu. Yeah, I'm not talking about Israel. That is another topic I will not get into, is anything Israel. And it's people killing people. And what's so funny, this is what I find funny, is the Jewish people eat kosher, right? You're not allowed to eat, you gotta look through your lettuce and make sure there's no bugs in it. When you crack an egg, you have to separate it to make sure there's no blood in the yolk, blah, blah, blah. But yet, you just massacring people. Oh, and then the Israeli Secret Service, some of the most ruthless, not give two fucks about any other country group, like no scruples. They'll go and kill somebody like that for no, like, you know what? We don't like this guy, we'll just kill him. Like Gerald Bull, famous artillery specialist. Apparently, he was making the weapons of mass destruction for Saddam Hussein in Iraq, which was also feeding Britain while they were in a fucking not deficit, when they were in a recession, which kept the steel mills and manufacturing companies open. Why? Because Gerald Bull was funding the British Steel with U.S. money provided from Saddam Hussein. You hear what I said? Saddam Hussein had U.S. dollars. Where did the U.S. dollars come from? Came from CIA, FBI. Yeah. Trust me, the USA was funding Saddam Hussein until they just got tired of him not playing the rule book by their agenda. And this is why they invaded fucking Iraq and Saddam Hussein. Trust me, they liked that guy. And the guy they killed wasn't Saddam Hussein. Oh, and how about Ghislaine Maxwell? Anyone see that video of that guy walking through Ontario, some city in Ontario, and he walks past this chick, and then he comes back with his phone, and he walks up to this chick. He's like, "Hey, Ghislaine," and she just looks at him like, what? He's like, "Oh, that's not your name." She's like, "No." She looks very similar to Ghislaine Maxwell, but the kicker is the guy standing next to her looks exactly like Ghislaine Maxwell's brother in Ontario. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. There's talk about people seeing what's his name, Epstein in Israel, with private security surrounding him. But so that's interesting. But that the look she gave was of reckoning. She recognized that voice. She recognized that voice, and then even her brother kind of had a funny look too. But if you guys, you could go back and try and find that video. I'm not going to show it on here. That's drama shit. I don't want to fucking bring drama onto my news channel. After the news, I'll do that. But I'm not doing videos on here. I'm not going to promote other shit like that. You guys can go look that stuff up yourself. But Ghislaine Maxwell is alive and well in Ontario. Look that up. It should pop right up onto your YouTube feed. But yeah, pretty damn close resemblance. And then the kicker is the guy she was with looks like Ghislaine's brother. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Oh. Oh yeah, and then today's news. Could you guys tell that I didn't have anybody watching me today? Ugh. It's funny when you have people watching you, you really feel the pressure. I can't keep my thoughts fucking straight. Even after writing shit down. And to tell you the truth, I couldn't even believe that I got 3 pages worth of news today. I was struggling to find stuff. Like, I could have talked about Trump's speech, but I don't know, blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot of countries pissed off after last night's speech there. Whew. Like, it pissed me off as a Canadian. Like, he was literally just gloating. Like, haha, look who I got deals with. Ha, I made a deal with them. I made a deal with them. You know what? Who's next? Who's next? I got a deal. But yet, meanwhile, the fucking country's in fucking major deficit. You're just hurting farmers right now. You're hurting the people too. The price of groceries are still skyrocketing. Like, when's that gonna change? And I'm thinking Carney will probably remove that 2% tax on spirits and beer here. Oh man. Really? Like, it's translating for me? That's interesting. I've seen some stuff like that automatically translates, but I'm not using ChatGPT or anything. I've seen some ChatGPT where people are doing stuff like this and making it look like they're some movie star or something. No, I like to keep this as raw and as real as possible. If I have to edit stuff, then there's a possibility of it being not true or fake, right? So me not editing anything keeps everything raw and to the point. With the Canadian government, well, it's better than what it has been previously with the Trudeau government after slashing major power and industry. Like, he totally cut our oil and gas down to nothing. He started giving jobs away to other countries. He inflated the immigration rules here in Canada to allow more immigration, which didn't help the country because now we're behind in schools, we're behind in hospitals. We don't even have enough doctors to fill the hospitals we have right now. And like, pretty much every city across Canada is talking about we need more schools. Teachers are getting overwhelmed. There's like 30 to 34 students per class. Like, see, like to be a teacher nowadays, I remember growing up, or sorry, like 20 years ago, knew a guy who was becoming a teacher. Why? Why? Like, even back then, watching like how the school system has changed. And it was funny, he spent 1 year here in Canada teaching, and he was like, fuck this noise, I'm going to Britain. He ended up working at a private school there for a couple of years. Why? Because he couldn't deal with the way the school systems are being run here, and then the way that the students are. At least in Britain, with a private school, kids are like, somewhat proper. Try and speak proper at least. So yeah, that's this fucking world is all upside down, and it's just gonna get worse. This Iran thing, like to see what's gonna happen with that. Really, I don't really actually see anything happening in Iran, and then Trump threatening them with more stuff. Like, I thought you took out all the nuclear shit already. I thought you took out those bunkers. Is it really necessary to send all this Navy and military, or Navy and Air Force over that way? And then I love how Britain had to get their 2 cents in and be like, hey, if you're gonna do anything to Iran, you're not using our airfields. We're gonna fucking use your airfields in the first place. So shut up. Don't even fucking get your 2 cents in saying that. It was so funny. What's up there, Dance? Would I? Yeah, tell you the truth. Well, me as a Canadian right now, tell you the truth. If I was gonna go somewhere, I'd go to Japan or what's the other place? Mulan. Probably two of the safest countries in the world. They pride themselves in safety. Why would I say that? Don't go to Canada because you're ugly. Trust me, there's a lot of ugly people here. You'll fit right in. 7-7. 6-7? 6-7? Australia 7-7. Anything in Australian news besides the U.S.? You guys buying those nuclear submarines from the U.S.? You do realize that you're not going to have control of those nuclear submarines once you get them. Actually, you're not going to get them. They're going to be controlled by the U.S. Navy and the British Navy. But you're going to be paying the full bill for those subs. Good deal. Good deal you guys made. Fucking. Yeah, okay. Okay, the protests and stuff they're happening are in some of the more major cities and stuff like that. Like, there's places like northern Japan, totally welcoming to foreigners and stuff like that, especially Canadians. Especially Canadians, they'll welcome you with open arms. And then the price of rent, cost of living, so cheap in Japan. You can walk into a 7-Eleven, there's nobody in there. You just grab what you need, you pay for it, and you walk out. There's no one there to serve you. Everything is just what do you call that? The honor system. Everything's based on the honor system. Drunk people passed out in the middle of the street. Nobody bothers them. People will check on you, make sure you're okay, make sure you're breathing, and then keep doing their own thing. No one bothers you. That's what I like about Japan. Fuck, what is it? Milan? No, it's not Milan. Oh, it's kind of by Italy. Kind of by Italy. It might be Mulan. I'll have to check that out. But again, they pride themselves on safety and security. Like, you can walk down the streets, you don't have to worry about panhandlers, like getting shot, being robbed, or anything like that. This is why a lot of millionaires are moving there. You see a lot of super yachts parked there, a lot of people with $1 million cars, wicked car collections. Some of the biggest car collections in the world are in, is it Milan? A security problem in Canada. With CSIS and joint efforts with the United States, I wouldn't say that there's a security problem here. most of the problems that we're having here in Canada, it comes down to local problems, gangs, street violence, um, uh, yeah, car thefts. They're a big thing that are coming up in Canada here. Toronto just dealt with a huge international car thieving ring, shipping cars to Africa, then transferring over to India. Uh, but security here in Canada, I think security is pretty good. Um, Canada does have one of the best militaries in the world. We do a lot of military training through a lot of the world's countries, joint efforts and training programs. Canada has a lot to offer military training too, due to the fact that we have sea, uh, well, water, sea, sand, like desert, winter, and forest warfare and city warfare. We have everything here, all in one contained zone. Like 40 kilometers just south of me here, there's what they call CFB, Canadian Forces Base Shiloh, and that is a huge desert warfare training facility. It's amazing. It's cool. You walk through this forest, and it's all pine trees, and you come to the edge of this forest, and as far as the eye can see, sand dunes. It is the coolest thing ever. You'd never. It's like a hole in the ground. There's lizard. There's a lizard there that is only native to that area. There's only that type of lizard who lives in the spirit sands. Oh yeah, they call it spirit sands, is what they call it. People say weird stuff happens out there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The natives really, yeah, even a lot of natives won't go out there. Some people camp out there and say they hear weird things, but like I said, it's a part of a military base too. You can get to a part of the desert where there's signs that tells you do not cross this line. Unexploded ordnance, military deaths 2, civilian deaths 1, just from unexploded bombs buried in the desert. But yeah, Canada, Canada security, CSIS is by far, if not the equivalent to the CIA. Canadian CSIS is definitely up there. But the only issue with CSIS is nobody listens. CSIS gives out a lot of information, but no other country really takes it seriously. That's just Canada. Every country's full of problems. I'm still gonna love Canada. Like I live right dead smack in the middle of Canada. Like I have the best of both worlds. You know, like fresh, clean, crystal clear blue waters, desert, forest, mountains. Um, yeah, the Arctic. It's amazing. If you could ever go up to Churchill, beautiful up there. Yeah, I'll always love Canada. Even if I moved to another country, I'd be wearing Canadian flags like daily or promoting Canada 100%. But Canada's good. It's, I don't know, people are, especially, okay, Manitoba for sure. It says friendly Manitoba right on our license plates. Trust me, Manitoba is probably one of the most friendliest places you can go. From me moving from Manitoba to Quebec, night and day. Night and day. You would have thought I moved to the United States. Just the derogatory comments and, you know, the hate mongering for the English and Anglophones. Phone, or what do you call it? Bilingual. Bilingual. You speak both languages. I speak a little bit of French. I can understand it when somebody's saying it to me, but I don't have the tongue to speak French. I have too much of a redneck tongue. I talk lazy enough as it is. For me to speak French, I can't twist my tongue that way. But all the good stuff, like sous mon cul, the closest thing to fuck you in French that you can say to somebody that has nothing to do with the church. because everything in all the squares in French has to do with the church. There's the chalice, the calice, the tabernacle. These are all things found inside a church, and it's all been directed. It's all a swear word. Oh, thanks a lot there, MT. Whereabouts are you from? Canada's good. Canada's making some changes here with Britain here, adding that new. If you want to come to Britain, you got to fill out special paperwork now. It's going to cost $30 Canadian if you want to go to Britain, just for this paperwork, and you're only allowed to stay for 6 months at a time. Then you can come back. You can stay for another 6 months, and that's good for 2 years or until your passport expires. But you have to listen to what I'm saying. Or until your passport expires. So it's only good for 2 years. Or if your passport expires before that 2 years. Not if your passport's good for 8, that 2 years doesn't account. You still have to reapply every 2 years for this paperwork. From Kenya, that's crazy. I just did some news about Guyana making deals with China. That's pretty interesting. And then India just made some big deals with was it 50 some African countries on a free trade agreement, transferring items back and forth with no tariffs or taxes. So that'll be interesting. But I'm kind of worried that India is going to take advantage of Africa and some of these countries. Who's to say they're not going to take precious resources from you guys and then bring them to India and then sell them at double figure to the EU or the UK or any type of European country? You know, like if Africa wants to stand on its own, they should be looking into trade agreements themselves instead of other countries coming to them. Like really, like what China's doing right now. You've never seen China out there making deals like what they were before. Like this is insane. Hey Luke, what's up? So yeah, that's pretty good for Africa, but I don't know. It could be a bad thing too because maybe just being taken advantage of it. Yeah, that's the thing. That's all we can do is just wait to see how it goes. And then with all these other trade deals that are happening right now, a lot of things could still be changing. Like after last night's Trump speech, a lot of countries that made deals with the US already are like, oh, fuck. I think we might have made a deal too soon. And which is great for Canada because Carney's like not just saying yes or no. You know, like, yes, we made some deals with South Korea, um, some major deals with South Korea because they're going to be probably bringing well, we already have a Hyundai car manufacturer here in Canada, but talks of bringing more auto manufacturing here with Canadian auto workers and joint effort for our new fleet of submarines. So that's a pretty big deal right there. And which is funny that Canada making this deal with South Korea. South Korea really has like a major or sorry, the U.S. has a major like threshold in South Korea, which is surprising that we're getting away with these kind of deals, or are we gonna get fucked at the end of the day when Trump says, "Hey, South Korea, I'm gonna start tariffing you until you cancel these deals with Canada." Yeah. And then the F-35s, we're going to be stuck with these F-35s. I don't know why Carney's like, we'll just take half. Well, by the sounds of it, you're not going to be able to take just half. You're going to have to take the whole fucking schmack now. So this whole taking Saab's Griffin jets right now, not going to happen. I don't see it ever happening now. Yeah, and okay, yeah, with India making this free trade deal too, you do have a point. It's kind of turning Africa might have to start like uniting together for sure. But there's so much stuff happening in Africa. You have I don't know, warlords, you got ISIS, you have all the divisions of ISIS. Like, there's just so much stuff. It's still so uncertain. Like, yeah, there's still way too much uncertainty to figure out what's going to actually happen here. But I would like to see Carney get it. Well, there's a lot of Canadian companies that are running in Africa too. That now the U.S. is trying to get like a foothold in gold and diamond mines in Africa. Well, Canada's been mining there for years and never had an issue. I have one buddy who works down there in a diamond mine, in South Africa. Makes like 280 grand a year, and he has a private security with him all the time. Yeah, that's insane. I remember he sold his car. He had like a $36,000 brand new car. He sold it for like $2,000. He's like, I gotta go. I don't need this car here. $2,000, you can have it. It's a fucking $36,000 car, man. 2 grand. Yeah, I gotta go. My flight's tomorrow. Here, 2 grand. I'll go cash. And what's funny is he only wanted like 15 grand, I think. And it was like, due date, I'm leaving to Africa now. And he sold his car for like 2 grand. Really wish I had the opportunity to buy it, but shit happens. Yeah, OpenAI. Yeah, not really too much more news. But I'll be back tomorrow at 4 to 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Canadian. Here Monday to Friday. Some days I do. Some days I'll do something in the weekend if something is important enough to talk about, or if I need to get something off my chest that I was thinking about. Like Gun3's, I had to do a short about that the other day because I think she actually had something to do with this. Yeah, I know. I We'll see what happens with Trump here, and with some of these deals here. Maybe some of these other countries that have already preemptively made deals with the United States might cancel it. Maybe they, instead of Trump canceling them, maybe they'll cancel Trump, which could be a huge thing. Like, but for anything to happen, you're gonna have to have more than just one person speaking up. We're gonna have to all speak up together. Like, it's just the way it is. But one person doing something, and then even if we did all branch up together, could we really do anything? Like, but I would like to see, I don't know, the world smarten up a little bit. But war makes too much money. Like, Canada's putting $1.5 billion away for Ukraine, so they have extra military supplies that they can't get. Well, that's $1.5 billion that we could be putting to homeless shelters and the homeless, or well, I wouldn't say drug addiction or anything like that. They're not going to fix that. Drug addiction's always going to be there, and they already tried fixing that in BC with safe injection sites and decriminalizing drugs. Well, that didn't work. Now they just introduced cheaper, more affordable, stronger drugs. And then BC was allowed to actually sell pure heroin legally through some of these safe safe injection sites. Uh, so I don't know. This whole world's fucked. But yeah, we need to start saving money ourselves instead of footing other people's war bills. Like Carney just, I think he's putting a couple $100 billion just in Canadian military infrastructure, and spending more money on Canadian military companies. Like, Canada has a lot of military manufacturers. Yeah, they're selling heroin legally. Heroin, cocaine, ketamine. Yeah, they had a couple since They had a 3 year, actually not quite 3 years. They had a 2 year run, just over 2 year run, where they decriminalized drugs in Vancouver. So if you're caught shooting up, blah blah blah, that's now you got paraphernalia, you have possession of drugs. Now you go to jail. So they vetoed that for just over 2 years. It didn't work. It just made the drug dealers stronger because now drug dealers could walk around carrying up to 2.5 drugs, 2.5 grams of illegal narcotics with no point or no with no repercussions. They just confiscate your drugs and on your way. So trust me, if you're walking around with just 2.5 grams worth of heroin, uh, you can make a lot of money in a day just back and forth carrying 2 grams, and you'd never get arrested. And some of these safe injection sites were getting medical grade heroin and serving it to people, letting people buy it so they could have a safe supply of drugs. Also in BC, they just started, well, no, this is 2 years ago. Uh, 2 years ago or just over 2 years ago. Trudeau was in office and he decided to put funding into a facility in BC to start manufacturing their own cocaine. Yes, this facility still is in operation. They're manufacturing their own pure cocaine, so they know where it comes from, how it's processed, and then it keeps it away from the illegal drug market. So the federal government is going to benefit from producing their own cocaine, producing their own cocaine, and they get the benefits at the end of the day. The whole reason I think that Trudeau wanted to start this facility is because I think he was worried that his cocaine supply wasn't safe enough. You know, he probably put so much fucking coke up his nose. Yeah, Gangster's Paradise. Look up East Hastings Street. There's lots of videos about downtown Vancouver, East Hastings Street. Take a look at that. You probably get about 5 minutes into a video of East Hastings and you'll probably have to turn it off. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And now that they recriminalize drugs, now there's going to be a huge influx of arrests. So now the court system, the jails are going to have this huge influx and possibly know where to put these people and no way to deal with these people. Living nightmare by design. Exactly. I can't believe that the premiers of BC even allowed this. Like, and then all these bleeding hearts. You know, well, if we have safe injection sites, we'll have less deaths. That's just bleeding hearts. Planned obsolescence. You know, like, not saying I don't have a heart or anything, but if you're reduced to that type of drug use on the streets and you want to live on the streets, then good luck. Good luck. I'm not going to sit there and cry for you when you OD. That was a choice you made. Like, I had addictions. I was like addicted to cocaine, like 100 milligram morphines. Morphines, the 100 milligram morphines was probably harder to get off of than coke. Morphines, that shit sticks with you for a long time. You want to talk about withdrawals? And that was from 2 weeks of heavy use of 100 milligram morphines. I was taking one a day. 100 milligram morphine will last you like almost 3 days before it wears off. And so I was double stacking my doses. Yeah. I don't know, to have a safe supply. Safe supply. And then look at oxycodone. All the suppliers of oxycodone, all the doctors who got reprimanded for oversupplying patients with narcotics that they didn't need in the first place. It was all in their head. I had a buddy, I called him Uno. He only had one arm. He had his arm cut off due to cancer. So they started feeding him oxys. Then they started bumping up his oxy doses. Then they started putting him on morphine. Then they started putting him on, upping his dose on morphine from 20 milligrams to 50 milligrams. Then they upped him to 100 milligrams. Then they upped him to oxymorphone, 50 milligram oxymorphone. If you don't know what oxymorphone is, that's pretty much almost the equivalent to fentanyl. So if I was to take one of those, was it 45 milligram oxymorphone? If I would have taken one of those, a whole pill by myself, uh, I could probably have a high risk of my heart stopping. Yeah, that's how strong those pills were. I would bust them into quarters when I had back pain, and that would last me 2 days, a quarter of a 45 milligram oxymorphone. Those are super strong, and they're also anti-abusable. You can't turn them into a needle, you can't smoke them, you pretty much just have to eat it. If you add these oxymorphones into, if you rip off the coating and you put them in water, it turns to gel. So you can't put it into a syringe. It's really cool how they did that. So that's how they tried to stop people from abusing and shooting up these oxymorphones, is by putting some type of gelling agent in there. That's all good. Yeah, I know. YouTube's been doing quite a bit of stuff. Actually, just in the last 6 months, I've been having quite a bit of issues with YouTube. Um, yeah, uh, and I've noticed a lot of changes too. A few things I have to start getting updated on. But I'm gonna go have something to eat because I haven't eaten all day. I've been writing all morning, and yeah, go clean up the house, go finish doing my butler duties. I'm a butler. Sorry, I'm a butler that doesn't get paid. I'm a butler who lives in house for free. So, for free with meals and other things. But anyways, yeah, if you guys like this, well, this is not the news channel. This is the BS channel. When I do my 4 to 4:30, that's just straight news. I'll do lives every once in a while after that show where I'll talk about the BS stuff that's in the news that shouldn't even be in the news in the first place because it's just drama. Like, why the fuck do I need to know that some chick who just survived cancer, they're having a graduation for her, especially at the hospital? I mean, why do I need to know these puff pieces after watching like all this gun violence? They show you all this blood and gore, and at the end, be like, "Oh, today, so and so's celebrating her graduation after surviving from cancer at the Health Sciences Center." That's supposed to make me feel better at the end of the day after just watching the news. The news should just be facts, no drama. And if they don't have answers to something, then don't fucking talk about it. Like, everything's just sound bites. I'd like to actually hear something. Well, MT, yeah, I'm out of here. But tomorrow, I'll be around 4 to 4:30 Central Time, Canadian PM. Yeah, Monday to Friday, I'm here. And like I said, oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's show will be Thursday. Uh, I don't think I'll be reviewing much of what I talked about this week in the news unless something else comes up that is related to that. I already talked about Mark. Was it Williams? Mark Williams, the BlackRock guy, who's now a representative for Canada in Washington, and his part with the Canadian pension plan, his deal with the pension plan, and the Alberta, is it Energy Commission? Something like that he was a part of. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. And then BlackRock is going to be investing money into Iraq, into putting a pipeline from Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi into Kuwait, But then that'll probably branch off into the UK, supplying them with oil and natural gas. So, but I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks a lot for hanging around, you guys. And yeah, if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Cool.